Get ready for an enriching conversation, because today we're going to explore 11 Stoic rules that can transform your life. If you've ever wondered how to apply the principles of Stoicism in the modern world, this video is for you. Let's get started. It would be wonderful if life never tested us, if we could go from one day to the next, improvising and always doing the right thing. But the world isn't like that. In the end, we end up making mistakes or taking actions that we regret later. Stoicism in theory is a philosophy, but in practice, it's a set of rules for living. The Stoics believed that life was complicated and full of situations that would test us, so they created rules to help us stay on the right path. In this video, I'll talk about 11 Stoic rules that I've set for myself in order to become the best version of myself. These 11 rules were created by Stoic philosophers over 2,000 years ago and have been useful for many people throughout history. I invite you to stay until the end to learn all the rules and apply them to your life. Before we begin, I'd appreciate it if you liked the video to help me continue spreading this philosophy. If you're not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. The first Stoic rule, conquer your mornings, is deeply rooted in the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, and his words in the Meditations are a living testament to this. In recounting his morning struggle to get out of bed, he offers us a timeless lesson on discipline and purpose. Despite his position as emperor, which gave him every reason to indulge in comfort, Marcus Aurelius chose to face each day with determination and responsibility. He understood that winning the early hours of the morning was crucial to the success of the entire day, and by extension, of one's entire life. Inspired by this philosophy, I developed a morning ritual that starts with reflective writing in a journal. In this quiet moment, I reflect on the events of the previous day, pondering my actions, successes, and failures. This exercise of introspection not only helps me plan the day more clearly, but also strengthens my journey of personal growth and self-awareness. After this contemplative practice, I dedicate myself to physical activity, a crucial step to awaken both body and mind. This movement can range from a simple walk to an intense exercise session, but the goal is always the same: to stimulate physical and mental energy, preparing myself for the day's demands. Finally, with an energized body and a clear mind, I focus my attention on work tasks. Before diving into the day's responsibilities, I perform a brief meditation or breathing exercise, ensuring that my mind is centered and free from distractions. This approach allows me to embrace each task with total dedication and presence, following the Stoic teachings of discipline and purpose. This morning routine is more than a set of habits. It's a set of rituals that honor the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, guiding me through a productive day and fulfilling the promise of a full and meaningful life. By adopting these practices, I not only follow in the footsteps of the great philosopher emperor, but also carve my own path of conquest and fulfillment. The second Stoic rule, focus on what is within your control, is a cornerstone of this philosophy and an essential principle for a balanced and productive life. The Stoics, with their profound wisdom, teach us to differentiate between what is within our power to influence and what is beyond our control. This discernment is crucial for developing a practical approach to life, reducing the waste of energy on pointless worries and focusing on areas where we can truly make a difference. Understanding and applying this principle can free us from countless frustrations and anxieties. Instead of tormenting ourselves with aspects of life that are out of our reach, we learn to direct our attention and efforts to what we can control. This not only increases our effectiveness, but also elevates our sense of satisfaction and achievement. Take, for example, the sports scenario you mentioned. An athlete can control their training, technique, and attitude, but there are elements of the game that are beyond their influence, such as the actions of the opponent, the decisions of the referees, or the reaction of the audience. By focusing on their own performance rather than external factors, the athlete has a better chance of improving and achieving their goals. This principle, when applied consistently, can lead to exceptional performance and, more importantly, greater personal satisfaction. This rule can be applied to virtually all areas of life. By focusing on our actions, reactions, and attitudes, the aspects of life that are truly under our control, we gain a new perspective that allows us to act more efficiently and calmly. Recognizing that certain aspects of life are beyond our control, we can free ourselves from unnecessary anxieties and focus on what truly matters, following the path of personal growth and fulfillment. The third Stoic rule, "Do not suffer over imaginary problems," is a vital guideline for cultivating mental peace and resilience. This rule reminds us that often our worries and fears are products of our imagination, not reflections of reality. Seneca, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, eloquently captured this idea, highlighting how we often suffer more from our own mental creations than from actual life events. This Stoic rule encourages us to focus on the present rather than getting lost in hypothetical future scenarios that may never materialize. This doesn't mean ignoring risks or potential challenges, but rather approaching them in a rational and pragmatic way without giving in to unfounded fear or anxiety. By practicing mindfulness and staying present, we reduce the tendency to suffer from anticipation or create problems that do not yet exist. This approach helps us maintain calm and mental clarity, allowing us to deal more effectively with situations as they arise, instead of burdening ourselves with worry about events that most of the time do not come to pass. Applying this Stoic rule in our daily lives brings greater serenity and the ability to handle uncertainty in a balanced way. It teaches us to differentiate between the reality and the fiction of our thoughts, and to focus our energy and attention on real situations and challenges, thus increasing our overall efficiency and well-being. The fourth Stoic rule, "Treat success and failure in the same way," is a powerful lesson about balance and perspective. Marcus Aurelius, with his emblematic wisdom, provides us with a striking metaphor to illustrate this concept, comparing our existence to a stone thrown into the air. Whether rising or falling, the stone remains unchanged in its essence. Similarly, we as individuals continue to be who we are, whether experiencing the heights of success or the depths of failure. This Stoic perspective teaches us to face the ups and downs of life with the same serene and detached posture. Whether in the joy of a promotion or the adversity of a dismissal, who we are at our core remains constant. This approach helps us maintain humility in success and resilience in failure. Furthermore, Stoics value the lessons that can be learned in times of adversity. Negative situations often provide rich opportunities for growth and learning. Instead of being brought down by setbacks, we can embrace each experience as a chance to develop our inner strength, wisdom, and character. Feeling gratitude for everything that happens, good or bad, is a Stoic practice that invites us to accept life in all its facets. Recognizing that each experience has its value and that we can learn and grow from any situation gives us a broader and more balanced perspective on life. Therefore, this Stoic rule encourages us to remain centered and consistent, regardless of external circumstances, reminding us that our worth and identity are not defined by momentary successes or failures, but by how we respond to them and the learning we extract from each experience. The fifth Stoic rule, "Do just one thing a day," offers a balanced and focused approach to achieving goals and managing time. This rule, interpreted flexibly, encourages us to cultivate a sense of purpose and direction in our lives, whether we are setting small daily goals or working towards grander ambitions. For those who might feel adrift without clear objectives, this rule is a reminder that setting and achieving even one small goal each day can transform an average existence into a life of meaning and accomplishment. Setting one task or goal per day, whether modest or significant, is a crucial step to prevent stagnation and promote steady growth. On the other hand, for people who already have many goals and aspirations, this Stoic rule advises focusing on one step at a time. In a world where multitasking is often valued, it's easy to get lost in the tangle of multiple concurrent tasks, which can dilute our attention and energy, compromising progress towards truly important goals. Therefore, concentrating on one goal at a time allows us to take each step with full attention and effectiveness, ensuring more consistent and meaningful progress. This approach not only increases the likelihood of achieving our goals, but also promotes a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. By focusing on achieving at least one self-set goal every day, we can maintain a clarity of purpose and a sense of progress, whether those goals are simple or complex. Therefore, this Stoic rule guides us toward a more intentional and focused life, where each day is an opportunity to advance towards our aspirations, maintaining clarity of vision and purpose. If you're enjoying this, don't miss out on the opportunity. Purchase the ebook now, Stoicism in the 21st Century, Ancient Strategies for Modern Challenges, and unlock your prosperity, abundance, and improve your relationships with this ebook. Link in the pinned comment. The sixth Stoic rule, do not seek the easiest path, highlights a fundamental truth about achieving goals and success. This rule teaches us that in the pursuit of something valuable and meaningful, there is rarely a shortcut or a path of least resistance. Instead, the most rewarding and lasting achievements are often the result of persistent effort, hard work, and discipline. The lives of individuals we admire for their accomplishments, whether in the arts, sciences, sports, or any other field, often reveal a journey marked by challenges, obstacles, and periods of doubt. However, it is precisely their commitment to perseverance and resilience that sets them apart. In studying their stories, we realize that success is rarely a sudden or easy event, but rather the outcome of continuous and tireless dedication. The more challenging paths offer unique opportunities for growth and learning. By facing difficulties and resisting the temptation to seek easy solutions, we develop characteristics like strength of character, resilience, and the ability to learn from mistakes. These are the attributes that empower us to face future challenges with greater confidence and skill. The tolerance for effort and sacrifice is often what separates those who achieve their goals from those who do not. In a world where the pursuit of instant gratification is common, choosing the more challenging path requires courage and determination. But it is this choice that leads us to more meaningful accomplishments and a sense of true satisfaction. Therefore, this Stoic rule encourages us to embrace challenges and work diligently toward our goals. Recognizing that the more difficult paths are often the most rewarding, we can fully dedicate ourselves to the process of achieving our aspirations, building a legacy of perseverance, learning, and genuine success. The seventh Stoic rule, ask yourself if it's necessary, is an invitation to introspection and conscious minimalism in our lives. This rule encourages us to pause and critically reflect on our actions, desires, and daily choices, questioning their essentiality and value. Applying this rule leads to the surprising discovery that many of the activities, desires, and even goals we pursue might not be as necessary or beneficial as we imagine. This opens up a space to recognize and eliminate excess in our lives. whether in terms of material possessions, social commitments, habits, or even professional goals. By identifying and discarding what is unnecessary, we can dedicate more time and energy to what truly adds value to our existence. To determine the necessity of an action or desire, it is crucial to question the why behind each choice. Inquiring about the reasons and motives for our actions allows us to discern if they are aligned with our core values and long-term objectives. If an activity or desire lacks a valuable justification or does not contribute to our growth, well-being, or fulfillment, it is likely unnecessary. This process of questioning and reflection helps us live more intentionally and focused. It enables us to recognize and prioritize the things that truly matter, leading to a simpler yet more meaningful life. By adopting this Stoic practice, we not only simplify our lifestyle, but also become more mindful and deliberate in our choices, leading to a fuller and more satisfying existence. The 8th Stoic rule, love your fate, is a profound acceptance of the unpredictable nature of life and an invitation to embrace everything it presents to us. This rule reflects the Stoic concept of amor fati, which means loving and accepting one's fate as it is, regardless of whether it is favorable or not. Seneca, one of the most illustrious Stoic philosophers, embodies this approach in his own life. Despite significant setbacks, such as health issues and political exile, Seneca maintained a positive and adaptable outlook. He recognized that while he couldn't control the whims of fortune, he had complete mastery over his attitude and reactions to these events. This rule teaches us to find value and growth opportunities even in the most challenging situations. Instead of resenting adversity or wishing things were different, we are encouraged to seek the positive side and use our experiences, both good and bad, as sources of learning and strengthening. Loving one's fate is not a passive resignation to what happens to us, but an active choice to find meaning and purpose in all circumstances. This approach not only helps us cope better with difficulties, but also allows us to appreciate and cherish all aspects of life, seeing each experience as an essential part of our journey. By adopting this Stoic perspective, we open ourselves to a life of greater acceptance, resilience, and gratitude. We learn to embrace every moment, good or bad, as an opportunity to evolve and enrich our character and our life. The 9th Stoic rule, talk to the dead, invites us to explore the timeless wisdom accumulated throughout human history, especially through reading and studying the great thinkers of the past. This rule is inspired by the experience of Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, who was advised by the oracle to talk to the dead in order to live a good life. This advice symbolizes the importance of connecting with the knowledge and ideas of philosophers and thinkers who came before us. Reading is an extraordinary tool that allows us to access the thoughts and experiences of people who lived centuries ago. It is a form of dialogue with the past, where we can learn from the reflections and experiences of great minds from history. In a world constantly seeking novelty, we often overlook the immense value contained in the ancient teachings preserved in books. This access to the wisdom of times past is particularly relevant in our digital age. With the internet and other modern technologies, it has never been easier to access a vast array of knowledge and ideas from different eras and cultures. However, despite this unprecedented availability, many people still choose to ignore this superpower that is reading. The Stoic rule of talking to the dead encourages us to seize this unique opportunity. By engaging with the works of philosophers, scientists, artists, and thinkers from different eras, we not only expand our knowledge, but also enrich our understanding of the world and ourselves. This dialogue with the past can offer guidance, inspiration, and valuable insights for our contemporary lives. Therefore, this rule reminds us of the importance of valuing and exploring the knowledge accumulated throughout history, using it as a compass to guide our lives in the present. By talking to the dead through reading, we connect with a legacy of wisdom that can illuminate our path and enrich our journey. The 10th Stoic rule, be hard on yourself and understanding with others, speaks to the balance between self-discipline and empathy. Stoics are known for their strictness when it comes to personal principles and standards, but this strictness is primarily directed at themselves, not others. The central idea of this rule is to maintain high standards of conduct and character for oneself, while practicing understanding and forgiveness towards others. This principle highlights the importance of self-discipline and self-control in the personal journey toward virtue and wisdom. Being demanding of oneself in terms of ethics, behavior, and actions is essential for personal growth and fulfillment. However, when dealing with others, Stoics advise us to adopt a stance of understanding and tolerance, recognizing that each person is in their own stage of development and struggling with their own battles is fundamental for cultivating empathy and patience. Instead of judging or criticizing those who do not follow our own standards or beliefs, the Stoic approach suggests that we should focus on being a positive example. The most powerful influence we can exert on others is through our own behavior. By demonstrating virtue, integrity, and compassion in our actions, we can inspire change and positively influence those around us. This Stoic rule reminds us that while it is important to maintain rigorous personal standards, it is also crucial to practice empathy and tolerance with others. By balancing self-discipline with understanding, we not only become better individuals, but also contribute to a more harmonious and compassionate environment. This allows us to impact the world positively, promoting change through example rather than criticism or judgment. The 11th and final Stoic rule, remember that you die every day, brings a powerful reflection on the nature of existence and the inevitability of death. Inspired by the words of Seneca, this rule challenges us to re-evaluate our relationship with time and mortality. According to Seneca, our great mistake is to see death as a distant and isolated event, when, in fact, every moment that passes is a step toward it. In essence, we die a little every day that we live, because the time that passes is time we will never recover, and it belongs to the realm of death. This Stoic perspective on death is not a gloomy view, but a reminder to value and make the most of each moment of life. Recognizing that death is a constant companion, we are encouraged to live with greater intensity and purpose. Instead of postponing dreams, procrastinating, or leaving tasks and desires unfinished, we are called to take action, live fully, and fulfill our aspirations while we have the opportunity. The idea that we die every day serves as an impetus to embrace life and everything it has to offer. It is an invitation to experience each day with gratitude, enthusiasm, and a keen awareness of the preciousness of time. This rule reminds us not to leave anything incomplete, to make the most of every moment, and not to postpone life to an uncertain future. So the Stoic message here is clear. Live intensely, cherish every moment, and make the best use of the time you have. By doing so, we not only honor the inevitability of death, but also celebrate the beauty and richness of life. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video to support our work. Thank you.